Okay, welcome to the operating system class. And in this video, we are going to learn about the command line interface on Linux. For the outline for our course today, first we will learn about the command line interface tools on Linux. We also learn about the general command line syntax on Linux. And for your homework, you have to explore the command line interface, command line syntax on Linux. Command line interface. What is command line interface? So we can call it as CLI, an interface on an OS that is used to receive commands on a certain line. On all OS, be it Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and so on, must have this feature. And do you still remember CLI in Windows? Yeah, CLI in Windows, you can use the command prompt tools for CLI, right? How to open CLI on Ubuntu? CLI, short for command line interface in Linux, can be accessed as a terminal. So we call it CLI on Linux. The tools for accessing CLI on Linux, we can call it as a terminal. How do I search for the terminal? Here are the steps. So you can use for the right mouse button, you will see this button. So as you can see out here, you can just click on this button, then you will find the terminal, right? So I will show you how to open the terminal. So as you can see right here, we can just press this button. Then as you can see, this is the frequent tools that I've been used in my Ubuntu. And you can also type the terminal right here. Then you will see the terminal, and you can just click on that terminal, right? And when you first open the terminal, you will see the screen like this one. So for example, I am the user of my Ubuntu operating system. So Naufal is the user of the operating system, because I log in as a Naufal. At Naufal minus VirtualBox. This is the name of my computer or my OS. So Naufal is the user, and at Naufal minus VirtualBox as a computer name. Yeah. Even though in Linux OS there is only one user, it doesn't mean that when you open the CLI, he can do anything. There needs to be a special syntax to make him the main administrator. So, for example, I am the only user on my Ubuntu operating system, but this doesn't mean that I am the administrator of my operating system. So if you want to log in as an administrator, there will be some steps to be an administrator. So we call it administrator in Ubuntu, or in Linux, we can call it as a root user. So we will talk it later. And these are basic CLI commands on Linux. As you can select here, if you want to log in as an administrator, you can just type sudo su on your terminal, sudo su or sudo base. In Windows, you can just right click on command prompt, then press run as administrator, and make a user the super user to or root. Sudo su means super user or root or super administrator of the Ubuntu OS. So ifconfig or ipconfig, this is for checking your IP address of your computer. CD on Linux, it's same with the Windows for the change directory. CD space dot, it means go to the previous directory or go to up directory. For the Linux, ls is for displaying the contents of the current directory. And pwd or iso cd via the current directory. In Linux, pwd. In Windows, iso %cd %. apt-get get install is for download a specific packet or installer and then install it. But in Windows, we can just double click on the executable program. Chmod or right click then change the permission for the Windows to determine the permission of a particular folder. So you don't need to be confused. We will try it one by one of these commands after this. The first command is sudo su. Sudo su is for login as an administrator. So as you can see right here, if I want to log in as an administrator, I just type in my terminal sudo space su or super user. Then you need to type your password. If you type the correct password, you will see like this one. You'll be success for login as a root on your computer or on your operating system. With the syntax exit, the session as a root will automatically disappear and return to the normal user access. If you want to back to the normal user, if you want to log out from the root user, you can just type exit. So I will show you how to do that. Okay, I want to be a super administrator or super user or a root. Yeah, we can call it uh, an administrator like that. So I just type sudo su. Then I need to type my password. So if I type the correct password, you will see that root at nowfile minus virtualbox. I am the root, or I am the administrator of the terminal. So if you want to back to the current user or the general user, you can just type exit. So there are some limitation if you use the general user. So you cannot install the package from your terminal if you log in as a normal user or a general user. If you want to install some packet or some application from your terminal, you have to be a root user. Okay. So if you want to see your IP address of your computer, you can just type ifconfig. In command prompt in Windows, you can just type ipconfig, but it's a little different with the Ubuntu or terminal. So you need to type if, not ip, ifconfig. So I will show you. So if I type ifconfig like this, so I will see my current IP address. So my IP4 address is 10.0.2.15, and this is the net mask of my computer. Okay, and the next syntax is cd, ls, and pwd. So cd is for change directory. If you want to move to another directory on your computer, you can just type cd. And ls is for viewing the content of your directory. Then pwd, if you want to see your current directory, where is where is your current directory, you can just type pwd. So yeah, I will show you. So for example, I will follow the instruction in my slide. So I want to move to the previous directory, like this one. So now I am in home directory. So if I type cd space home, you will see that the warning from your terminal, no such file or directory. Yeah, because in your home directory, you don't have a home directory inside your home directory, right? So you will not you will see this warning. If I want to see the list of uh, file or folder in my home directory, we can just type ls. Yeah, because in my home directory there is a one directory, now file directory. Then if I want to move to the now file directory, I will type the cd space now file. So now I am in now file directory, right? So I want to see the file or the folder inside now file directory. So I just type ls. So as you can see right here, there are some folders or directories in my now file folder: desktop documents, downloads, music, pictures, public templates, and videos. Then I want to move to the desktop. So I will type cd space desktop. Okay. Then I now currently in my desktop directory. If I want to see the complete path of my current directory, I can just type pwd. So you can see like here, now I am in home, now file, and desktop directory. Okay. So the next command is apt-get install, and then this command is for installing a new package or a new software or application from your terminal. So if you want to install some package, you have to be a root user. So you need to type sudo su before you install the new package. if I if I'm not a root user, so you cannot install the new package. So for example, I will show you if I want to install a new package, but I am not a root user. So I will clear my terminal first, then I will type apt-get install. So I could not open log file varlib dpkg log front end, yeah, because I'm not a root user. So if I want to install some package, I will log in as a super user first. Then I will type my previous command again. This one, yeah. apt-get install is for updating your Ubuntu package. So we will not install a new package, but I just install a new update for my operating system. So apt-get install is for getting a new update from the Ubuntu server. Okay. Okay. ls-l and chmod. As you can see right here, ls-l is for if you want to see the detail of your current directory. If you want to see the detail of your current directory, you can just type ls-l. Then you will see there are, for example, in the desktop, if you type ls-l, you will see that there is a one directory like here, test directory. So test directory is created on October 19 at 2019. Then it it was created by Naufal and last updated by Naufal. So how who is the person that create, who is the user who create the test directory? It's Naufal. And who is the person which has updated the last updated of test directory? It's Naufal. It's also Naufal. Then you will see drwx rwx r minus x. It's just for uh, permission access. Yeah, I will I will explain it later after this. So yeah, I will show you how to open my desktop directory. Then I want to see the list of file on my desktop directory. Then I just open my terminal again. Then I will move on to the now file user again. Then I will type ls-l. As you can see right here, there is a one directory test inside my desktop directory. Then the permission access of the test directory is drwxrwxrwx. Yeah, I will talk it later after this. Then the person who and the user who created a test directory is Naufal, and the person who last updated the test directory is also Naufal. And it was last updated at 2019 on October 19. Okay, folder and file permission on Linux. So if you want, as you can see before, you will see the drwxrwxrwx. This is the important codes you should know. So it can be broken down into drwxrwxrwx. D it's a directory. So the first character of the permission access is D. D it means test is a directory, not a file. Then RWX, it means read, write, and execute for user or owner. So what does it mean? User or owner is a person who created a test directory or a test folder. So if you create a new folder or a new file inside your folder, so uh, for example, Naufal create a test directory. So Naufal is a user or a owner of that directory, right? Then RWX, it means read, write, execute for group. So what does it mean? The group which has a same, the user which has a same group with Naufal, it can be read, write, and execute that file or the folder. And the last RWX, read write execute for others. It means not the owner of the file and the users in the group, but anybody apart from this. So for example, if you on your operating system you have 3 users, then for example in my operating system I have Naufal user, I have Farid user, and Muhammad for Muhammad user. So Farid and Naufal, I will um, categorize that user as a maybe a root user, maybe, or I mean you have a 2 group on your operating system. So in Ubuntu or in Linux, we can create a group. So we can categorizing every user in our operating system in certain group. So for example, Farid and Naufal is in group A. Then Muhammad is not in group A but in group B. So if Naufal create a new folder or a new file, then it give an access to the group, the same group. It means Farid and Naufal is in the same group. So for example, if Naufal give an access to the other user which has a same group with him, so Naufal give RWX, so Farid also can read, write, and execute that folder. So then Muhammad is not in the same group with Farid and Naufal, then it can also read, write, and execute. So this is for the owner. This is the user which has a same group with the owner, and this one is for another user not in the same group with the owner of your operating system. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we have some example right here. drwx, it means that the file is a directory that has read, write, and execute permission for all user, group, or other access. For such settings, it is necessary to write chmod 777. So 7, it means we will give an access for the owner, read, write, and execute. Then for the group, read, write, and execute, and also for the others, we will give read, write, and execute. Then another example, if we have a permission like this one, drwx r minus x r minus x, so we will give a permission chmod 755. It means the user or the owner of that file or folder will can read, write, and execute, but the group will have a read and execute access, and other will have a read and execute access. Okay, just read and execute it, not a write. So the user will have an access for read the file and also execute the file, not write or update the file. And another example, drw minus r minus 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 minus, it means that the file is a directory that has read and write permissions for user or owner access, but for group access it can only read and other do not have any access. Nobody can run and execute the file. For such settings, it's necessary to write the syntax 6, 4, and 0. So we should type 777, 755, or 640. We will talk it after this. So if I have a file with the no, if I have a folder with an access drwx rwx rwx. For example, I have a test directory right here. If I want to set the test directory to drwx, so I need to type this command chmod space 777. So what does it means? So I will break down into more detail. So I will type like this one. So if you remember in binary numbers, if I set rwx as 111, rwx as 111, then rwx as 111. If you convert 111 to the decimal number, you will get a 7, right? So if I want to give another permission for the test directory, like this one, rw minus r minus minus and r minus minus. So I will set 110, 100, and 100. If I convert this into the decimal number, you will get 110 as a 6, 100 as a, yeah, 100 as a 4, then 100 as a 4. So if I want to give a permission access to the test directory to drw minus r minus minus r minus minus, I will type this command chmod 644. If I have another example, if I want to give an access to the this one is for, sorry, this one is for user, owner, I'm sorry, owner groups and others, w r minus minus r minus minus. This is for groups and this one is for others. Then if I want to set the permission like this one, so we need to type chmod 444, right? So yeah, this why we should type 777 644 444 is just for give a permission to the user. So what does it means? So if I set, I'm sorry, if I have another example, this is not directory, right? R minus minus, for example, rwx, r minus, rw minus, and r minus minus. This is not a directory. If I have maybe a file with the name of install.txt, for example, like this one, inside my directory, then I will give an access for the install as rwx, rw minus, and r minus minus. So I will give chmod, because this one is 111, 110, and 100, chmod 75, I'm sorry, 76 4 for install.txt. So the user who create install.txt, the owner of the install.txt, it means the user who create a file install.txt will have an access for read, write, and execute. So the user or the owner will can open the install.txt and also can modify the install.txt file and also can execute. So what does it mean, execute? I will give you explanation on the next video, on the next course. Execute, for the execute a file. Then for a group who has a same, for the user who have the same group with the owner of the install.txt will have an access for read and write, but not execute. And other user who has not in the same group with the owner of the install.txt will have an access only a read, right? So like this one. So this is the explanation of the permission access of the file in Linux operating system. Okay. So I will give you another example. So for example, I want to to change the test directory, the permission of test directory as r minus minus, r minus minus, and r minus minus. So I will have to type chmod r minus minus is 100. It means 4, right? 444 test. So I want to see r minus minus, r minus minus, and r minus minus, right, for the test directory. Okay. So for the homework, the task 1 for the analysis problem, you need to create a folder called OS folder with the uppercase and lowercase letters. are concerned, then you enter the directory with the syntax os folder. Did an error occur? So we will test if you want to move to the another folder, but you have not concerned about the uppercase and lowercase. So we will test is it error or not, and find minimum 5 CLI syntax other than those described in the slide. And you need to create a table like previous slide with columns for Linux syntax and Windows syntax. So you need to find another 5 CLI command, and you need to try on your computer, on your terminal. Then you also need to compare with the Windows command prompt syntax. And task number 2, you can read by yourself. So you need to, yeah, you need to try by yourself. Then you can just follow this instruction one by one. And for the task 3, you also you need to follow this instruction one by one. Then you need to try by yourself on your terminal. Then make a paragraph that shows the conclusion of simulation question 1 and simulation 2.